Hello everybody. Hey friends, how you doing? It is Sharika back with another video to share my journey through all of my finances. Today what I wanted to show you, I've talked to you just about my January budget and you've seen some of my goals, and I talked to you about how I plan to pay for those goals, but I wanted to show you how I came up with that strategy of how I'm going to pay for those goals. And so at the end of the year, usually when I'm thinking about my goals, I obviously need to figure out how I'm going to afford them. And so I do a spreadsheet, which I'm going to show you here with just kind of the overview of the year, trying to plot all the things that, the must things that I really, I don't want to say must, but the things that I really want to do, and to make sure that, throughout the year with the paycheck, that how I see it, that I can afford those things. So I just want to walk you through here so you can see how I realized that I can afford some of those goals that I wanted. If you take a look at my 2024 goals video, I talk about how I know I can pay for the goals that I've set, and I didn't really do any major stretch goals in 2024 because I'm trying to keep it simple. I'm still recovering from the pandemic and just going off of a spending spree. So I wanted to keep it realistic, and I wanted to make sure I could afford it. And this is how I figured all of that out. So let's just hop into this spreadsheet and show you what my plan was. So like I said, I like to plan out my goals. I like to put them on a spreadsheet, see everything that I'm paying for, and my mother is my accountability partner when I budget, because I'm single like a slice of cheese. But she takes a look at it and she's like, okay, making sure that I'm setting realistic expectations for myself on my goals. And so it's always good to kind of have an accountability partner look at some of the things, especially when you're a perfectionist like me. So, first thing I did was I put in the dates of all my paychecks. So this is all 26 pay periods that I plan to get paid in 2024. Then I put the estimated paycheck amount for each check. Um, the first check was 25, what was it, 25.60 something, which was about $20, was definitely less than this. And then I estimated with the cost of living increase 2,600. That's a very conservative estimate. I don't know what it's going to be, and I'm not that savvy to calculate it, but this is just an estimate to see what I think it'll be. If it's more, hey, the more the merrier, right? Okay, so then I also put sinking funds. So the primary checking is, this is what goes into my primary bank account for my paycheck. The sinking funds account, if you've seen my budget, I talk about how I have a completely separate sinking funds account. I have $400 a check going directly into that sinking funds account. And I'll definitely do another video showing you my 2024 sinking funds and what I plan to fund with that. And so the 2,600 plus the 400, then I also do sister locks on the side. I don't really plan to budget that out. That's just going to be extra money. But as you see here, for the first 11 paychecks, I'm going to need to use at least $100 from my sister locks money for to help me out with some of my goals. Now, I'm not balling out of control with sister locks or anything. At one point I had 18 clients. I have narrowed that down to only 5. It was overwhelming. It was a lot, and I had no life. I was constantly doing hair all the time, and not that I didn't enjoy it. I absolutely enjoy doing it. I enjoyed all of my clients. I really did. It was just a lot of my body, a lot of my time, and trying to balance out logging off, doing hair, going to bed late. It just wasn't for me to be doing all the time. So I've narrowed that down to 5 clients. I'm not going to be bringing in that much to be balling out of control, but I will be able to do a little bit of extra. And so, like I said, I will be pulling $100 from that Sister Locks business account into here. All right, so let's get into the things that I plan on doing. All right, so of course, out of each paycheck. And if you've seen my budget paycheck, I have the regular bills that I'm paying, and these are the items up here: tithes and offerings, which is pretty much consistent through the year. That will change if depending on what the paycheck is. I'll definitely increase that, but this is just an estimate. Hand dance is I'm in a hand dancing class, um and I believe I only have to pay that up until May. Honestly, I don't even think I need to pay it that long, but we are going to I estimated up until May. I think I actually only have to pay it up until April. So um and then after that, I will have 50. I'm not going to do it anymore. I don't plan to do it anymore. Hold on a second. Let me freeze these cells. Okay, back to our regular schedule program. All right, so hand dance, like I said, I don't plan to really do that after a certain point. So that's not going to be for the rest of the year. All right, ideal image. The way I've budgeted is $79 a month for the whole year, or $79 a check for the entire year. That's just the budget. Like I said, I plan to pay that off at some point during this year, whether I take that money from Sister Locks or I just put extra money into money not spent on food or going out or something to that. I plan to pay it off early, but this is just an estimate of what I can definitely do. Then the mortgage, I break that out and I have 635 each check. And mind you, I'm just doing this as an estimate again, um, because overall, I've got two extra checks. If I go at this pace, I'll be able to be ahead on my budget an additional month. So I'll make those decisions when those extra checks come. We'll see. The HOA, I budgeted 350. It's actually only 340. So I've budgeted just to put 175 a check. So that's a little bit of extra money that will be going to that ideal image too. Um, Dropbox, 650 per check. Then Netflix, 850 per check. And I have two subscriptions. One is $67 and one is $35. I have budgeted for the Impact subscription up until May. I believe that's when it ends, and that'll be $33.50 a check. And the his daughter community is 17.50 a check. I believe I have that budgeted throughout the whole year because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that at this point. So next we have HP Inc. Where it is $3.50 per check. Planet Fitness $5 per check. State Farm 122.50 per check for the whole year. And then Fubo. Fubo is how I watch my football. And so the thing I like about Fubo, I really don't watch anything else on Fubo outside of football. And so you can pause Fubo during the non-football months. So after Super Bowl, that's going on pause and I'm going to be paying that. So you'll see I'm going to stop it right here after February 19th, and then I'm going to reactivate it in August. They automatically do it. They tell you, do you want to pause because football season's out? So that's an easy fix. Then Massage Envy. So the 125 a month that I need is for the membership fee and gratuity. So 62.50 per check. One Child Matters, my sponsored child, 19.50 per check. Then my cell phone bill, $30 per check. YouTube Music, $7.50 per check. Hulu, $4.50 per check. Life insurance, $31.50. BG&E, I have 180, but I just got my BG&E bill and it is high. So, hey, it's an estimate. I'm over in a lot of the other categories. I'm not worried about it. So, $90 per check. Getting my hair retightened, $75 per check. And helping my daughter pay her student loan, $50 per check. All right, so those are all my budgeted items. As you see, some of them are not for the full year, some of them are, and with it sticking this way, I'll be able to afford all my bills, and I will be able to probably be over on some. Then we're going to go down to my variable expenses. So for beauty, that is nails, toes that need to be done, getting eyebrows waxed or whatever. I'm going to put away $50 per check for that. Enjoying life. So this is something that's a little different from 2023. I had $200 a check in the Enjoy Life Fund. I'm bringing that back a little bit to 150. Enjoying life is going to be a lot in my trips and stuff, and so which I really want to do, so I decided to dial it back on that. Food, I've also dialed it back on that too. The goal is to stick to it. I Last year I budgeted about $200 a month. This year I'm going to be, per check. This year I'm going to do 150 per check. We'll see how that goes. The goal is to stick to that. I did not stick to it in 2023, but that's why we on this YouTube trying to hold a sister accountable. All right, gasoline is $75 a check. That's absolutely fine. That's what I've been doing for the past 2 years. It's been working. Then putting aside gifts. Like I said, my love language is giving. I'm always giving something. So $40 a check for giving, and then adding the personal trainer in. So my biggest thing is what I wanted to make sure I could afford is adding the personal trainer in for another 3 months. So I've already paid up until March, and so by March I need another $1,200, I think, in order to add another 3 months. And so what we have here is an additional 190 each check to go towards the personal trainer so that I can pay for additional, let's see, what is this? I think, yeah, the 2280. So that'll pay for an additional 6 months of personal training. Okay, so that's variable expenses. Now, some of my travel goals. I have a family reunion coming up in June, and I owe about $1,800 as far as I want to put aside another $1,800. The actually have money for the hotel already. I already have money for flights. And I probably will use some points for flights as well, but I need spending money. We plan to rent a car, all of those things. And so when you're planning for trips, don't just say, oh, how much is the flight and the hotel? How much you going to eat? Do you need to rent a car? Do you need outfits? Think about all those things. And so that's why I have the money for the hotel and I have the money for the airfare, but there's other things that need to happen. And I need $1,800 to do that. Panama. We plan to go to Panama as a family for in August. It has not been planned, but that is the goal. And I want to set aside $2,000 in spending money. The trip, I think, is going to be paid for by someone else, and so that's the goal. And in order to get that over here, as you see, to have that money by July, this is what I need to put $100, a couple checks, then increase that once the family reunion is over, and then increase it a little bit more until I get there. So, based off of this spreadsheet, I can afford to do that. Then I want to go to Woman Evolve in September, and I will be putting away $90 per check to set aside for that. If you can see, it goes all the way down to August. Then lastly, Hawaii. Hawaii, I think I'm changing my mind on Hawaii. So this is essentially going to be the big 45. I'm turning 45 in 2025 and I want to go somewhere. I want to go somewhere different. I want to tap into some new islands, a new location, whatever. And I want to put aside $5,500 for that or start paying off something. I usually use a travel agent. I haven't called her yet. I'll probably call her in February to make those plans. But I wanted to make sure that I can afford to put $5,500 away this year for whatever I do next year for my birthday. So, based off of this, you see 88 cents for these first three checks. What is that going to do? Well, that's the whole purpose of doing a spreadsheet. Over time and throughout the year, that is going to increase. and the total that I'll be able to put away is $62.96, which is definitely more than I planned, and I'm okay with doing more. So, the way this is set up, and I did pretty much a zero-based budget for the entire year, which you'll see at the bottom. But according to this budget, I can afford to spend $6,000 for my 45th birthday. All right, let's tap into some sinking funds. These are some of my annual expenses. So Costco, 120 for the executive membership, 99 times out of 10 I use it, my sister uses it, and so it's paid for in the long run because I do get money back from the membership. Tax prep for myself and personal and two businesses, Microsoft renewal, Chase credit card, renewing YNAB every year. I prefer to pay the annual one because I use it regularly. Um, Screencastify, which I actually have already canceled, so this does not even need to be set aside, but I'm gonna just leave it on here because this is the plan. Amazon Prime, I put money away every month so that when August comes up, it's just there. And so with my sinking funds, I like to just keep putting away every month and then it'll roll over if I don't use it. Canva, I pay for the annual subscription of Canva. It's just easier that way. I use that for businesses as well. Personally as well, I like to entertain, always making a sign, always making something. But I really like using Canva. Planet Fitness, remember that annual fee. Don't forget the annual fee. Don't only budget for that $10 a month, budget for that annual fee too. Um, Geek Squad, which is about $200 a year. I put away for that. Then holidays, spending about $1,500 on Christmas. And as you see, per my budget, I ain't got it for the first couple of months. I ain't got it up until May. So starting in May is when I'm going to start saving for Christmas spending. It's always good to put everything in the plan so that you can see it. My photo book, which is funny, I'll do a video on it, but I just got my 2023 photo book. Life is good. I Yes, I love doing my photo books, yearbooks. I'm not an Instagram person. I'm not gonna be scrolling for days on pictures, and this is my nice little coffee table book where I can just sit, drink coffee, and look at how the year evolved, and I really love that. So I buy those every year, and that's about $250. Yes, it was $200 this year, but I'm gonna always budget over. And then Home Paramount, making sure that I'm paying for the quarterly pest control for those pesky, I don't even know what they're called, spider crickets. Ugh, they're disgusting. There. So, with that said, I am bringing in $3,100. I budgeted to bring in $3,100, and I have calculated all of my expenses to be exactly $3,100, which leaves me with zero. So that's how I zero based budget the entire year to make sure that I can afford all of the goals that I want. And then some. Because remember, these are just estimates, these are just numbers. As you see, I've already canceled one subscription for something. Some things have gone, are, definitely I've budgeted over the amount. And I plan to make a little bit more. I believe my paycheck will probably be a little bit more. So I definitely can afford the things that I want to do. Um, Down here also is that if you saw my 2024 goals video, I have that $500 that go directly into my emergency fund account. This is that out of sight, out of mind type of thing. I never want to see that in my primary checking account. It's going to go over there. So just putting money into there is going to help me get to the $10,000 that I want for my emergency fund, as well as putting another $5,000 away for my plastic surgery. Um, so yeah, if I continue that and I'm consistent with that and don't make any changes to that contribution, that's $13,000 being put into that fund. So yeah, the $4,000 more that I need for the emergency fund, along with the $5,000 for the tummy tuck, I've got many ways to make my goals. And so the whole point of this is just like I said, make sure I've got a plan. Make sure I'm not just being like, you know what, oh, I want to go here. Oh, I want to go here. And I can't afford it. This also helps me to say, when people are like, oh, you know what, let's add this vacation on, or, let's go here, let's go there. You know what, let's just take a Virgin Voyages cruise. And I say that because I really want to go on a Virgin Voyages cruise midsummer. I can just look at this and I can already tell you, ain't no other trips getting added because these things are priority to me. The family trips are priority to me. The going away for my birthday next year is priority to me. So based off the priorities, I can look at my plan for the year and say, hey, you know what you have proposed to me, let me look at this, let me see if I can do it. If I feel like what you've proposed is something that's more important to me, I can make wiggle room on here. If I look at here and these things are important to me more than what you've proposed, then I can't go. It is what it is. But it's good to know the numbers ahead of time so that that can help you make the decision. Anyway, so if you have any questions about how I budget for the annually, or if you need me to go into detail a little bit more about my thought process through this, definitely leave a comment and talk to me about how you budget for the year. Do you go all out and plan the whole year, or are you just kind of go with the flow, and just when I get paid, then that's when I make my decisions. Let me know. Let's talk about this in the comments. Doing this has really helped me kind of just stay on track. And like I said, I haven't done it in like 2 or 3 years. I used to do this back in the day, and I'm back on it. So I've got my plan set for the year. All right. I've done enough talking for today, but thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for just tuning in to my journey on just being freer with my finances. I absolutely enjoy talking about budgeting. I absolutely enjoy talking about my finances because it has really brought a sense of freedom because I actually know what I'm doing. I actually knowing where my money is going gives me a sense of peace that I don't think a lot of people can understand. And I pray for that for everybody, that they can have that sense of peace over their finances. Because there was once upon a time, it wasn't always like that. As a single mom, struggling, to make ends meet, trying to figure out where my money's going. That was my story umpteen years ago. And I am so grateful that I'm able to pull myself out of that. So, again, thank you guys for joining. I look forward to seeing you in future videos.